Hare Krishna. Yes, yes, I can do the Manglacharan.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namobhishtam Stavitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Tadas Deepak sorry Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruh Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Taptat Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Chandni Mataji, for this wonderful recital of Manglacharan. When I start my video, my network is not supporting video and audio both. So please allow me to just be there as an audio. So thank you very much, Mataji, for joining today our Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are on Canto 3, Chapter 7. And the text for today is Chapter 7 is Further Inquiries by Vidura. And the text for today is text 21. And it has a very small purport. So over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. So we are reading from the third canto, Status Quo, Chapter 7, Further Inquiries by Vidura, text 21. And text 21 has a very small purport. So I would like to request to continue because 22 also has a very small purport. And to continue to 26 since they are all very related. Then we can have some more subject matter of discussion. Is that okay?
Yes, Mataji, kindly go ahead.
Okay. So since our text today is 21, I'm going to recite the text and then one of the devotees can volunteer to recite after me and I'll continue with the translation and maybe at the end of 26 someone can read the purport to 26. Okay, text 21. Shitvagre Maharajini Savikaranyanakramat Tebhyo Virajamudritya Tamanu Pravishad Vibhuhu. One of the devotees can volunteer to recite the shloka.
Drishtvaagre mahadadini savikrana anukramat tebhyo virajam uddratya tam anupravisad vibhu.
Translation and small purport by Srila Prabhupada. After creating the total material energy, the Mahat Tattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered the scene. Purport: who is satisfied by the answer of the preachman's prayer, Vidura wanted to understand the remaining portions of the creative function of the Lord, and he took the clue from the previous topic. Yamahuradyam, this is 22. Yamahuradyam Purusham Sahasram Vyurubahuram Yatra Vishwaimiroka Savikasham Sa Asate. The Purusha incarnation lying on the Kashu ocean is called the universal Purusha in the material creation, and his Virat form, in whom all the planets and their inhabitants live. He has many thousands of legs and hands. Purport. The first Purusha is Karunadaksha is Vishnu. The second Purusha is Garbhodaksha is Vishnu. And the third Purusha is Kshirodaksha is Vishnu, in whom is contemplated the Virat Purusha, the gigantic form, in which all the planets with their different developments and inhabitants are floating. Text 23. Yasmin Darshavida Prana Sendriyar Vayarito Yato Varna Sarvibhutir Vadaskana. O great Brahmana, you have told me that the gigantic Virat form and his senses, sense objects, and 10 kinds of life air exist with 3 kinds of life figure. Now, if you will, kindly explain to me the different powers of the specific division. 24. Yatra putraischa putraischa natriभिः सह गोत्रजैः Vichitra Asanya Satam. O my Lord, I think that the prowess manifest in the forms of sons, grandsons, and family members are spread all over the universe in different varieties and species. Prajapatinam Sapati Chakripe Kan Prajapatim Sargam Saivanu Sargamcha Manu Manvatradapit Manvantaradipan. O learned Brahmana, please describe how the leader of all the demigods, namely Prajapati Brahma, decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of the ages. Please describe the Manus also and describe the descendants of those Manus. The human race or Manushya descends from the Manus, sons and grandsons of the Prajapati Brahma. The descendants of Manu reside in all the different planets and rule all the universe. 26 now. Aparyadasya eloka bhumirmitratmajasate tesham samstam paramanam cha bhulokasya varnaya. Translation. O son of Mitra, kindly describe how the planets are situated above the earth as well as underneath, and also mention their measurements as well as that of the earthly planets. So one devotee can read the short purport, then we will have our discussion.
Hare Krishna. I can read the purpose. Yes, Yasmin Vijyate Sarvam Evam Vijnatam Bhavati. Mundak Upanishad 1.3. The Vedic hymn declares emphatically that the devotee of the Lord knows everything material and spiritual in relationship with the Lord. Devotees are not simply emotional, as is ill-conceived by certain less intelligent men. The direction is practical. They know everything that is and all the details of the Lord's domination over the different creations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees. So first of all, I'll quickly recite some mantras in purification to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Nadeka Bandhu Matsangu Madhiro Manmahadana Manishtara Kamadvaya Madananda Mukite Sadhu Sadhu Tadaye Natine Sitapakara Anamanta Parachimam Primnari Pantayotram. And I would like to first of all offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my supremely merciful spiritual master, and to his spiritual master, and to Srila Prabhupada, and all the acharyas in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and pray that I can be a useful instrument in their service. I would also like to offer my respectful obeisances unto all of you Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis present in today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion, and seek your blessings that we can speak something of use to our progress in Krishna consciousness, as well as for our own purification. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. So we have been hearing about Vidura and Maitreya. Then it's been Maitreya Muni instructing with Vidura, Shriman Vidura. We heard yesterday how we have been hearing him describe very nice topics about association with the devotees. And in yesterday's part, he spoke about Alpatapasa, one who has meager, one who is meager in his austerity. Then he cannot have association of pure devotees. And now we are coming to another session, or we are getting back to technicalities of the word canto, because the word canto is very technical with the creation and the Mahat Tattva and all this confusing the gigantic form, this Vishnu, that Vishnu. But sometimes it may seem, what is the use of all this? How will I apply this in my Krishna consciousness? Hmm? But all this, what Vidura is asking and what Maitreya is answering about the Supreme Lord creating the universal form, the manifested external energy of the Supreme Lord, then entering within it, it's all to build what is called Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha Gyan means relationship with Krishna, knowledge of our relationship with Sri Krishna. Because there is this world we are living in, which is considered as reality. And then there is us who are spirit souls. And there is the source of this material world and our source as well. So what is the relationship between us, souls or living entities, and this world and the source of the world? Because the world as it is, or material creation, it has a source. And that source is Sri Krishna. So all these topics about creation, how the Lord entered, what He created, all this is to build our relationship, to help us understand this Sambandha Gyan, our relationship with Krishna, the relationship between the material reality, or rather relative reality, with the absolute reality, and with us, marginal reality or living entities in the material world. Otherwise, if this is not properly understood, then there will be confusion. There will be confusion, and already we can see there's so much confusion in the world. People have different theories of how the world has come to be. They concoct so many things. There is that theory and that other theory, and what's the relationship and what we are. There's also a confusion on that. Who are we as living entities? And many people believe we are the body. What's our destination? What's this world? Where did it come from? And who has made it? So if this is not made clear, and what other scripture or what other source can describe this more concisely than the Srimad Bhagavatam? That's why the Vard Council is very concise on these matters, or rather very deep, and might be challenging to many of us on this matter of creation and where it has and where the world has come from and how it was created. Otherwise, like I said, confusion will arise. Because we can see here Vidura is saying that the Lord created and then he entered within it. So is he one with the world? Is he one without it? So we have to understand this, that the Supreme Lord has created this material world. So it is his energy. The world is his energy. And it is one with him in one sense, but also in another sense, it is different from him. If this is not understood, then there will be many concocted ideologies such as pantheism, that the world itself is God. Because if God is in the world and he is one with the world, then the world itself is God. Like one philosopher, he conjectured one system that if the world itself would contain the reason for its existence, then the world itself is God. So it is worshipable as God in itself. But that's not entirely true. And others conjecture that the Supreme Lord is all transcendental, separate from the material world. He made the world and is above, he's transcendent, is above it all, he does not interfere at all. But then when we say like that, then it means God is just like someone who made a clock and left it. Or in a more practical case, then God will seem like an absentee father. People who father children and then they don't take care. In my country, here in Kenya, it's very common. But God is he like that? Then he's not really like that. So it's not a complete, he's transcendental, but he's involved. That's why we see he entered within his material creation. He has some involvement. He's not an absentee father. And then others will say that if the Supreme Lord is present in everything, is one with the world, then everything is God. Let's deify everything. Then all things, including mundane things, become worshipable. But that's not the reality. And then we have the worst one, who will say that, oh, forget all these mental thinkings and all these ideologies. The Supreme Lord has nothing to do with all this. It's just emptiness, voidness, just like light or electricity. So Prabhupada came to counter all this and establish the personality of Sri Krishna, that God is a person. He created the world. He is one with it. The world is his energy. We are his parts and parcels. So in one sense, he is a part of the world, but also different from it. This is called Achintya Veda Abeda Tattva, simultaneous oneness and difference. And this is the philosophy of our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, propagated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. And this is the basis of Sambandha Jnana, of understanding who are we, what is the material world, and what is the source of the material world. The source of the material world is Sri Krishna himself, and we are his parts and parcels, and the material world is his energy. So we need to have this understanding, and this understanding will not come on its own. This understanding cannot be gotten by our own mental concoction, by our own understanding or our own experiments and inferences, empirical inferences or experiments. This understanding can only come from the Vedas, because all the confusion with all the theories that I just stated, they come because the soul is trying to understand who am I and what is beyond it. But what is the soul using? It is using its virtue of limited material intelligence. And material intelligence, matter can only understand matter. The soul itself is not matter, so it does not even understand itself. Matter will not understand spirit. So this will only come if this is gotten from the Vedas, from the scriptures. And you cannot read the Vedas on your own. You cannot read the scriptures on your own. You need a guru. Mm. And that's what we read in text 26. Mm. How the devotee of the Lord knows everything material and spiritual in relationship with the Lord. And since he knows this, then he can impart this knowledge unto you. And that is what Sri Vidura is doing here. So you may not understand or even keep in your head all what is being spoken by Maitreya Muni to Sri Vidura about the Mahatattva and this measurement and that and that and that. All you need to understand that all this is meant to instill Sambandha Gyan, relationship between me and the Supreme Lord, and to understand that the material world has come from the Lord. This is the crux of this information that Vidura is hearing from Maitreya Muni. And it's a perfect setup because Sri Vidura is showing that this will not be understood by our material limited intelligence and understanding. You need to get it from someone who knows it all, who knows everything about this relationship, and that is the spiritual master. Mm. And I will link this why the spiritual master is involved with the text 22, where Prabhupada is explaining Sri Krishna's or how he enters within the Mahat Tattva, within the cosmic manifestation, that the first Purusha is Karnodaksha is Vishnu. So in the creation of the world, we have been looking previously at creation of the elements at the level of Mahavishnu. So the Supreme Lord Vishnu expands himself as Mahavishnu, and from him, from the pores of his skin, comes unlimited millions, billions of universes. We only have planet Earth, and we know of this universe, or pretend to know, or claim to know of this universe. Within the Earth, we still don't know so much, but still we claim to know of this universe, trying to go to Mars and other planets. But there are many more millions of universes, all manifesting from the pores of Mahavishnu. And this shows the mystic feature or the wonderful feature called Ashtarya, Bhuta, wonder of the Supreme Lord. That from the pores of our skin, usually we sweat. When it's very hot on a hot day, what happens is that in your skin, water will increase, will come to the pores of your skin, and if the heat is too much, that water will even drop to the ground. But you can't pick that water that has sweat, that has fallen to the ground, the perspiration, and say, oh, this is a part of my body, and put it back. You can't, even if you wanted to, you cannot do it. It's not within you. But the Supreme Lord, as Mahavishnu, is sweating millions and trillions of universes from the pores of his lotus skin. And from those universes, when their time of annihilation comes, they all come back to his body. That is the ultimate annihilation. His sweat goes out and it comes back. And what does he sweat? Not water, but universes. This is a mysterious, wondrous, magnanimous feature of the Supreme Lord. And then in each of those universes, he expands himself in each of those universes, lying on the Garbhodaka ocean as Garbhodaka Vishnu. And from the navel of Garbhodaka Vishnu is a lotus flower from which Brahma is born. And Brahma then creates You heard of the Manus in the next text, the Prajapatis in text 25. uh, So with his children, Brahma creates the living entities in the material world. And in each living entity, each and every one of them, in all the universes hmm, that are there, millions and trillions of them, manifesting from being created by Brahma, in each of the universes, manifesting from all the other universes, from Garbhodaksha, from Mahavishnu, Karmadaksha is Vishnu. The Supreme Lord expands himself as the Super Soul, seated in the heart, Paramatma. Hmm? He is called Shirodaksha is Vishnu. He is seated in the hearts of all living entities, all of them, name them. Uh, 8.4 million, 8.4 million species. He seated on all of them. And these are just species. So, so the Supreme Lord is everywhere in the heart of all of them. We may not be able to conceive this. That's why it is called achintya, inconceivable. Our meager, limited intelligence cannot conceive of it. We can only understand when we hear from the spiritual master. And where does the spiritual master come from? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Chapter 1, Kaviraj Goswami describes Shiksha Guru ke Tanahi Krishnera Swarup Antaryami Bhakta Shrestha A Devi Rup. That one should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as the super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord. Uh, So the spiritual master is a manifestation of the super soul. The Supreme Lord himself is seated within the heart. And because he knows we will not understand anything of this, and first of all, why is all this manifestation happening? Why is there a creation in the first place? We had the other time. Creation happened not because the Supreme Lord wanted, but because we wanted it in the first place. We wanted to lord it over material nature. We wanted to overthrow Krishna and enjoy separately. And therefore we are told, okay, go to the material world, try and enjoy. So that's why the material world is created. But to save the living entities, hmm, to save the living entities, then he appears as the spiritual master. From the super soul seated in the heart, then an outer manifestation of that super soul is the spiritual master who will now come and seeing our how we have gotten confused and suffering in this material world. We have forgotten ourselves. He comes to remind us who we are so that we can reconnect by virtue of this understanding or this relationship, Sambandha Gyan, reconnecting with Sri Krishna. So he comes and he instills Sambandha Gyan, the knowledge of who we are, that we are spirit souls, eternal servants of Krishna. And this material world is but an energy, an external energy of the Supreme Lord. Mm. And then from there, we will make it back gradually by the practice of Krishna consciousness. If we take the spiritual master seriously, then the Bhakti Rasa will be planted in us. And when we cultivate the Bhakti Rasa by devotion, then we can nurture this relationship with Shri Krishna. We can nurture it back because already we are his servants. We just have to realize that and remind ourselves because we are forgotten. Covered up by material conditioning, we have forgotten who we are. And so to revive this relationship, the spiritual master initiates us into bhakti. He gives diksha. Diksha. Diksha It's a word. It's not a complete word by itself. It's like an acronym. DI and KSHA, two different terms. D representing Divya Gyan, that the spiritual master gives transcendental knowledge. Knowledge on what? On what is your relationship with Krishna and how to revive this relationship. And Ksha meaning that this devotional, this transcendental knowledge that the spiritual master is giving is going to destroy all your material conditioning. And that's why at the time of initiation, the spiritual master takes all the karma of the disciple so that the disciple can start on a clean slate and be properly situated now and cultivate this divya gyan, this transcendental knowledge on the relationship with Sri Krishna. And then it will be easier for him to go back home, back to Godhead. So all this is the mercy of the Lord. He understands that we have this nature to want to enjoy, and therefore he creates the material world. And he knows since we are individuals and we have so many different favors, someone will want to be in the sun planet, another one will want to be in the moon planet, another one will want to have 10 heads, another one will want, because we don't know all the dimensions that are there in the different universes. Therefore, the different universes are there to cater for all the favors. Just like a father will know, my child likes caramel chocolate, this one likes strawberry, this one likes this other flavor and other flavor. So stocks the fridge with all the flavors so that the children can enjoy during the school holidays. So the same thing the Supreme Lord does. He knows we have different flavors and we want to enjoy in different ways, provides all the facilities. Mm? Therefore creates as many universes and then as many planets and then with different species. This one wants to swim in the water. Okay, let him be a fish or a whale. This one wants to fly in the air. Let him be an eagle or a pigeon. Different species. And this one wants to realize himself. Then he comes up to the platform of the human form of life. And when you get to the human form of life, then okay, now this one is ready for liberation. Therefore, the super soul seated in the heart is more conscious. And when that human body, in the human body, when the soul is ready to question how has all this come about, like Vidura is asking, how did the creation happen? Then the spiritual master appears. Because the super soul, the spiritual master is a manifestation of the super soul. Then he appears to reestablish that relationship and to get back, to reconnect back the devotee with the master. So this is the crux, or this is the important thing in all these topics, that Vidura is getting knowledge, Sambandha Gyan, of his relationship with Krishna. He does not need this, he's a pure devotee, but it is for us. So even if we hear things going overhead of us, Mahatattva, I don't know this element and that element, and this came from that, and this measured this, don't be confused. All this is to help understand, create the understanding of what is our relationship with the material world and our relationship with Shri Krishna, and to help us understand that everything in the material world has come from Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhuta bhava samanvita. Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, the material world and the spiritual world, everything has come from me. And those who engage in devotional service, aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhuta bhava samanvita. They are Buddhists, they are really intelligent, and they come to me. Then the next text, those who worship me with love and devotion. Now this worshipping with love and devotion is what entails devotional service. I give the understanding by which they come to me. And this is the understanding that the spiritual master comes to give. Therefore, if we take shelter of the pure devotees, the spiritual master always be in association of those who will give us this knowledge that is beyond our limited material intelligence, then we will establish our relationship with the Supreme Lord, and we will understand that this world is Krishna's energy, and eventually we will go back home, back to Godhead, after practicing Krishna consciousness and engaging in bhakti nicely. Of course, this is a gradual process for cultivation, and by attending classes such as this, the Srimad Bhagavatam class, then we are building this relationship, we are practicing this bhakti, and we will fully awaken the love that is there for Krishna in our heart, the knowledge that is there in our heart, because all this knowledge is there, but it's been covered by material conditioning, will awaken. But it is a gradual process. Yeah. So I'm going to stop here. I believe we have quite some time, maybe 20 minutes or so. If there's any question, comment, or a discussion, since this is supposed to be a discussion, I don't want to use up the whole hour in talking and talking and talking, and then no one understands anything. So if there is something from the purport or from the text that someone would want to understand, we are very exalted devotees. Pancharika Mataji is here and many others. So if I can't answer your questions, you can even research. The floor is open for you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for this wonderful session today and explaining how this material world was created for our benefit. I really like the example of stocking the fridge for your children. Somebody likes something, somebody likes something. So it drove the point home very well. And also about the perspiration, which is a part of the body, and then it comes out, but we don't put it back in. However, Krishna during annihilation takes everything back. Not Krishna, but Mahavishnu, from whose pores there are billions of universes are made, and then each universe is has Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from whose navel Brahma comes, and Brahma then creates the material world, and the Manus and the Prajapatis and us Jivas as well. And I also liked your meaning of Diksha. I didn't know that before. The meaning, Gnan, the transcendental knowledge, and Ksha, meaning the destruction of the material conditions. So thank you so much for all those wonderful points made. I open it up to any questions or comments. Are there any questions or comments from the group or anything else that is bothering you? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, we got to turn humble greetings as a good Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, once again. So nice explanation, so nice class presented you. And no comments, but really, I appreciated whatever you said. Hare Krishna, thank you. It's a pleasure to be in your class all the time. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions or comments from the group? If there are no questions or comments, Eastern Prabhu, you can end today's session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful class. It was so informative, the way you just explained the 6 verses today. And I understood a lot, and thank you so much. I will invite each and every one of us to unmute and chant one round of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the glorification of Her Grace Rasa Sundari Mataji for the wonderful class. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Grace Rasa Sundari Mataji ki.
Jai.
All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Eastern Prabhu. All glories to your
All
service as well. Hare Krishna.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.